Welcome my favorite people, the rare gems. The smartest people in the room are often the quietest ones. They're not trying to be seen, they're trying to see everything. There's a kind of intelligence that doesn't shout, doesn't beg for recognition, and doesn't show off in public. That's the kind of genius Sigma females carry within them. It's subtle, it's silent, and it's absolutely unmatched. They're not interested in being the center of attention because they've already figured out that attention is a distraction. They'd rather observe than perform. They'd rather understand than be understood. That's not weakness, that's power in its most refined form. Sigma females don't follow the usual playbook. They don't do things just to fit in or make people comfortable. They're careful with their energy, calculated with their choices, and precise with their presence. They notice things most people miss. They read situations like maps and understand people even when nothing is said out loud. If you've ever felt like your mind is too deep for small talk or your silence makes others uncomfortable, chances are you're not broken, you're rare. You're someone who values truth over trend, depth over noise, and peace over popularity. You don't need to announce yourself. Your actions already speak in volumes that only the wise can hear. So if you've ever been doubted, dismissed, or misunderstood, good. That's where the hidden genius thrives, in the shadows, in solitude, in silence. Just remember, you're not here to fit in. You're here to outthink, outgrow, and outlast. Keep doing it your way. That's what makes you dangerous. Let's get started, the rare gems. Number 1. They weaponize underestimation. Here's where things get really interesting. One of the most dangerous things you can do around a Sigma female is underestimate her. And the crazy part? She wants you to. She doesn't rush to correct you. She doesn't argue to prove her worth. In fact, she'll nod, smile, and let you believe whatever makes you feel comfortable. Why? Because she knows something you don't. Your underestimation is her advantage. Most people are addicted to being taken seriously. They fight hard to be seen as powerful, smart, competent, but not the Sigma female. She knows that being overlooked is a secret door. It gives her space to move without being watched. It gives her time to plan while everyone else is distracted by the loudest voice in the room. And when it's time to strike, when it's time to show what she's truly capable of, people are left staring like, wait, where did that come from? It's like watching someone play chess while the other person thinks they're playing checkers. The Sigma female is 10 moves ahead, and the poor soul on the other side of the board thinks he's winning because she hasn't said anything yet. She uses your low expectations like camouflage. You think she's quiet, she's listening. You think she's passive, she's observing. You think she's soft. Oh no, that softness is just the cushion before the impact. And let's be honest, there's a little joy in watching people trip over their own arrogance. Sigma females don't humiliate others for fun, but when someone digs their own grave with ignorance, she's not handing them a ladder. She might even hand them a shovel. So the next time you think someone is too calm, too quiet, or too reserved to be a threat, think again, especially if she's a Sigma, because when you underestimate her, you're not insulting her. You're setting her up to win, and trust me, she's already halfway there. Number 2. They never reveal their true cards, even when they win. Here's the thing about Sigma females. What you see is never the full story. You might think you've figured her out. Maybe you think you've cracked her code because she smiled at your joke or nodded during your long-winded explanation. Cute. But let's get one thing clear. She only shows you what she wants you to see. The real stuff, the strategy, the firepower, the moves she's already lined up, that stays underground. Sigma females are not in the business of putting their whole life on display. While others are busy live-streaming every win, every tear, every step of their journey, she's busy doing the work in silence. She's the type to get the job done, walk away, and let you think it all happened by coincidence. Even when she wins, and make no mistake, she does win, she won't make a scene about it. You won't catch her bragging or throwing confetti. She's already moved on to the next challenge while you're still trying to figure out how she pulled it off in the first place. It's like trying to guess a magician's trick, while the magician has already left the building. And here's the genius part. Because she never fully reveals her hand, people can't predict her. They can't copy her. They can't even compete with her because they don't know what game she's actually playing. She could be 5 levels ahead while everyone's still at the starting line, comparing notes on outdated rules. There's a quiet satisfaction in keeping the world guessing. Sigma females have mastered the art of mystery, not because they're hiding something dark or dramatic, but because they know that power grows in silence. When people don't know your next move, they can't block it. So go ahead, try to figure her out. Just don't be surprised when every time you think you've got her all mapped out, she flips the board again. Number 3, they think in layers, not lines. Most people think in straight lines. One idea leads to the next. A leads to B, B leads to C, and so on. Simple, predictable. But Sigma females, their minds don't work like that. They don't just follow thoughts. They explore them, flip them, connect them, and dissect them all at once. It's like watching someone play mental 3D chess while everyone else is still trying to find the checkers board. They think in layers. One conversation could be about 5 different things in her mind. What's being said, what's not being said, why it's being said, how it feels, and what it could lead to next week. She's not just listening. She's cross-referencing it with everything else she already knows. It's like her brain is running a background search in real time. Ever tried to argue with a Sigma female? Good luck. By the time you finish your first point, she has already analyzed your tone, remembered the last time you contradicted yourself, predicted your emotional response, and decided whether it's worth replying. You might leave the argument thinking you won, while she's already sipping tea, knowing she won before you even opened your mouth. This layered thinking is what makes her such a strategic genius. She does not just react, she calculates. While others get stuck in emotional loops or make knee-jerk decisions, she's already seen 3 possible outcomes and picked the one that costs her the least energy and gives her the most peace. And no, she's not trying to be complicated. This is just how her brain works. You might call it overthinking. She calls it understanding the bigger picture. So if you ever catch her staring off like she's somewhere else, trust me, she's not zoning out. She's mapping out connections, replaying data, scanning for patterns, and quietly figuring out the next 5 steps while you're still on step 1. She's not lost. She's loading. Number 4, they don't outsmart to dominate, they outsmart to protect. Sigma females are brilliant, no question about that. But their intelligence isn't some flashy power move to show off. They are not here to play mental chess just to checkmate someone's ego. Their sharp thinking has a different purpose. It's survival. It's about protecting their peace, their energy, and their sanity in a world that constantly wants to pull them in 100 different directions. They do not outsmart people to look superior. They do it to create distance between themselves and chaos. Ever wonder why they saw through someone's lies in 5 seconds? It is not because they were trying to be clever. It is because they have learned, sometimes the hard way, that giving the wrong person access to your life can mess up your entire mood, your focus, and even your sleep. When a Sigma female plays it cool or keeps things vague, it is not a game. It is strategy. She has seen enough nonsense to know when to quietly step aside. She doesn't need to announce that she knows the truth. She just lets people talk while she's mentally packing up and checking the exits. She protects her energy like it is gold because it is. The moment she senses manipulation, drama, or emotional freeloaders, she does not attack. She detaches, smartly, silently, efficiently, and when people try to guilt her for it, she smiles knowing they just proved her right. The truth is, her intelligence comes with empathy. She feels deeply, even if she doesn't always show it. That's exactly why she's cautious. She knows the cost of letting the wrong energy into her space. So no, she's not trying to win over anyone. She's just trying to avoid losing herself. She does not want a crown. She just wants her peace. Outsmarting the world is just how she keeps it. Number 5. They learn from pain, not praise. Sigma females don't build their character from applause. Praise is nice, sure. It's polite, it feels good for a moment, but it doesn't teach them anything new. Compliments don't sharpen instincts. They don't reveal hidden truths. Pain does. When a Sigma female gets hurt, betrayed, or let down, she doesn't just cry and move on. She studies it. She rewinds the situation like a detective going over a case file. What did I miss? What pattern did I ignore? Where did I give too much or expect too little? She doesn't wallow. She analyzes. The pain isn't just emotional, it becomes data. And that's the difference. Most people get bitter after betrayal. Sigma females get smarter. They do not let pain turn them cold, but they do let it shape their filters. You lied once? Noted. You crossed a boundary? Logged. She will not rage, she will not explode. But trust, she is upgrading her strategy, quietly but permanently. This is why people who hurt a Sigma female are often shocked when they come back later and find a completely different woman. One with tighter boundaries, one who no longer answers the same way, one who now sees right through them with zero effort. Pain didn't break her, it built her. Every scar is a lesson, every loss is a recalibration. She doesn't need flattery to feel strong. She's forged by reality, not approval. And while others collect compliments like gold stars, she collects wisdom, earned, not gifted. So, no, you can't flatter your way back into her life once you've shown her who you are. That version of her you thought you fooled, she's gone, replaced by someone sharper, quieter, and far less accessible. She learned, not because you praised her, but because you didn't. Number 6, they make solitude a think tank. Most people see being alone as something to avoid. It makes them restless, anxious, uncomfortable. But Sigma females, they treat solitude like it is sacred. That quiet space, away from the noise and pressure of the world, is not loneliness for them, it is their mental headquarters. While others scroll, chat, or rush to fill silence, a Sigma female disappears into it like it is home. This is where her mind sharpens. It is where she downloads insight from her day, breaks it all apart, and puts it back together with better logic. Alone time is not a break for her. It is a creative lab, a planning table, a reboot system. It is where the real magic happens. Don't assume she is wasting time when she is not texting back or ducking out of social plans. Chances are she is restructuring her life, fine-tuning her goals, or solving a problem you did not even know existed. In that quiet room with no distractions, she outthinks people who have been talking all day. While the world moves fast and loud, she's mastering the art of slow clarity. And let's be honest, it is also where she escapes the nonsense, the fake smiles, the noise, the pressure to perform. In solitude, there's no pretending. No one is demanding explanations or asking her to shrink herself to fit in. It is the one place she can be fully herself without editing or adjusting for someone else's comfort. That's what makes her so dangerously effective. While people rely on teams, opinions, and constant feedback, she relies on her inner world, a place most fear. But she has turned into a think tank. She walks back into life with answers people didn't even know they were looking for. Solitude is not her weakness. It is her secret weapon. Number 7. They observe first, always. Sigma females have mastered one thing that most people overlook in their rush to be seen: observation. While others are busy trying to impress, dominate, or be the loudest voice in the room, the Sigma female is sitting back quietly, watching everything. She's not zoning out, she's not shy, she's studying. Before she speaks, she listens. Before she acts, she analyzes. She notices the fake laughs, the subtle power plays, the nervous habits, the people-pleasers, the manipulators, and the genuinely authentic, all without saying a word. While someone's trying to brag about their status, she's already clocked their insecurities. While someone's showing off their knowledge, she's picked up on what they don't know. This isn't some dramatic spy mission. She's not being mysterious just for the sake of it. Observation is how she protects herself. It's how she avoids unnecessary drama and spots red flags while others are still charmed by good hair and confidence. She's not impressed by titles, talk, or theatrics. She's interested in patterns, intentions, and consistency. By the time she makes her first move, she already knows where she stands. She's figured out who's trustworthy, who's trying too hard, and who's best avoided. It's like watching someone play poker with X-ray vision. She sees the tells before anyone realizes they've given themselves away. And the wild part? Most people don't even notice they're being studied. That's the beauty of it. The Sigma female does not need a spotlight to make an impact. She needs information. Once she has it, she moves with precision. No wasted energy, no over-explaining, just quiet, calculated presence. So if you're ever in a room with a Sigma female and she's not saying much, don't assume she's not paying attention. She might already know more about everyone in that space than they know about themselves. Number 8. They've trained themselves to think without ego. Most people have no idea how much their ego is steering the wheel. They defend their opinions like they're sacred, cling to being right, and treat every disagreement like a personal attack. Sigma females, they're built differently. They've trained their minds to step back and ask, wait, what if I'm wrong? And that question alone gives them a huge advantage. They don't let pride cloud their judgment. If something feels off, they don't double down just to protect their image. They pause, reflect, and pivot. Fast. Because they'd rather evolve than be admired for staying stuck. That flexibility, that quiet willingness to challenge themselves, is what makes their thinking so razor-sharp. Ego is noisy. It argues. It reacts. It wants to win even when it's wrong. Sigma females don't have time for that. They think with clarity because they've made a habit of moving their ego out of the way. If an idea doesn't hold up under pressure, they drop it. If a strategy fails, they learn, adjust, and move forward without dragging shame behind them. They'll even question their own patterns before life forces them to. They don't wait to be humbled. They humble themselves. That's why their growth looks so effortless. It's not magic. It's discipline, internal honesty, brutal, quiet self-checks when no one's watching. Meanwhile, the world is full of people so wrapped up in being admired or knowing better that they miss the obvious. They protect their pride like treasure, while the Sigma female is collecting something far more valuable: truth, perspective, freedom from delusion. And here's the kicker. They do it without needing applause. They're not looking for praise for being humble thinkers. They just know that thinking without ego clears the mental fog. And when your mind is clear, you can see 10 steps ahead while everyone else is still arguing on step 1. Number 9. They don't follow logic alone. They use pattern intuition. Sigma females are not just logical. They're something sharper. They've got this built-in radar that picks up on patterns most people never even notice. It's not some mystical sixth sense or supernatural gift. It's deep, disciplined observation paired with scary good memory. Call it pattern intuition. While most people need things spelled out in bold letters, Sigma females pick up on the subtle stuff: eye twitches, tone shifts, delays in answers, nervous habits, recycled excuses. You can lie with your words, but you can't lie with your patterns, and that's exactly what they remember. They're like walking archives. They remember what you said 6 months ago when you thought no one was listening. They remember how your energy changed when your name was mentioned. They remember the third time your bad day just happened to line up with avoiding responsibility. This isn't paranoia, it's precision. They don't just gather information, they stack it. And by the time they've seen you repeat the same behavior 3 times, they've already filed a report in their mind titled, "Don't trust this one." No argument, no confrontation. Just quiet recalibration. What's wild is they often know something is off before they can explain why. That's the power of pattern memory. They've seen enough people, heard enough stories, and felt enough micro-reactions to detect when something's not adding up, even if it technically sounds right. So when people accuse them of overthinking, they smile and let it go. Because they know the truth. Most people under-observe. They rely on what's obvious. Sigma females? They rely on what's consistent. Logic is great, but logic alone is surface level. Pattern intuition, that's the underground map. That's how they stay 10 steps ahead without needing to rush. It's not magic, it's mastery. And most people never even see it coming. Number 10, they think long-term while everyone else is addicted to now. Most people want fast wins, instant results, quick validation. They treat life like a sprint, chasing applause, attention, and the next shiny thing, even if it costs them peace or purpose. Sigma females? They're playing an entirely different game. They think long-term, always. While others are scrambling for approval or rushing decisions just to look productive, the Sigma female is stepping back, staying quiet, and zooming out. She's not worried about who's ahead right now. She's studying patterns, watching trends, and calculating what will still matter 5 years from today. That's where her energy goes. And let's be honest, this kind of patience is rare. It's not passive. It's not laziness. It's emotional discipline. It takes serious strength to not jump at every opportunity, to not react to every slight, To not chase after what looks good in the moment, but feels wrong in the gut. She knows that doing the right thing slowly is smarter than doing the wrong thing quickly. She's comfortable being underestimated because she knows what she's building is too solid to be rushed. While everyone else is sprinting in circles, burning out and hitting dead ends, she's moving with purpose, even if it means walking in silence for a while. And when her moves finally unfold, they look like luck. But they're not. They're the result of years of patience, insight, and quiet strategy. That's the part people miss. Sigma females don't need to be seen winning every minute. They don't need instant praise. They trust the process. They bet on depth over speed, timing over attention, and mastery over performance. So while the world claps for noise, she builds in silence. And when the dust settles, guess who's still standing, with her energy intact and her vision clear? Exactly. The one who chose the long game from the start. Number 11. They see manipulation as intellectual laziness. Sigma females have a low tolerance for nonsense, and manipulation is right at the top of the list. Not because they don't understand it. On the contrary, they understand it too well. That's exactly why they reject it. To them, manipulation isn't clever. It's just lazy thinking dressed up in control tactics. They don't need to twist your arm to get their way. They don't drop hints, play dumb, or guilt-trip people into doing things. Why? Because that kind of behavior feels like mental junk food. Easy to serve, but it leaves behind a mess. Instead, they go for clarity, precision, directness. If they want something, they'll ask. If they feel something, they'll say it. Or they'll walk away in silence if the situation isn't worth their energy. To a Sigma female, manipulation feels like watching someone try to win a chess game by flipping the board. It's not impressive, it's desperate. And here's the irony. They can see manipulation from a mile away. Micro-tactics, strategic compliments, passive-aggressive digs, emotional baiting, they spot it all in real time. But instead of reacting, they study it, make a mental note, and withdraw with dignity. Not because they're afraid, but because they refuse to play dirty just to feel in control. They believe that if you have to manipulate someone into agreeing with you, then you've already lost. You didn't persuade them, you just cornered them. That's not intelligence. That's insecurity with a mask on. Sigma females don't want people who are convinced by tricks. They want people who choose them with clear eyes. They prefer slow truth over fast persuasion. They know that influence gained through honesty lasts, while influence gained through games always collapses under pressure. So while others are out there pulling strings, the Sigma female is building real connections, no strings attached. Because she doesn't need to manipulate the world to feel powerful. She just needs to stay sharp, stay clean, and let the results speak louder than any tactic ever could. In final words, smart people learn from everything. Wise ones learn in silence. Being a Sigma female isn't about being louder. It's not about controlling people, showing off, or proving anything to the world. It's about mastering yourself while the world is busy performing. It's about understanding that true intelligence isn't measured by how fast you speak or how flashy your achievements look. It's measured by your ability to stay calm, see clearly, and move with intention. You don't chase approval because your worth isn't up for debate. You don't play for short-term attention because your vision stretches beyond what most people can even imagine. You've been underestimated, misread, and dismissed, but you turned that into fuel. You learned how to think through the noise. You sharpened your instinct, trained your mind, and made peace with standing alone, if that's what it took. What makes you dangerous is not that you're trying to be different. It's that you are, and you never asked for permission. You don't outsmart people just to win games. You outsmart them because you value your peace. You protect your energy. You refuse to live a life designed by someone else's expectations. That's not arrogance. That's clarity. So to every Sigma female out there, stay sharp, stay rooted. Keep thinking in layers, not just lines. Keep moving without broadcasting every step. Let others play the game for applause. You're here for impact. And that kind of brilliance can't be faked, forced, or followed. It's earned, silently, and revealed only when it's time. You are the strategy in a world full of noise. The quiet force behind your own empire. Keep building. The world will catch up later. Thank you for watching The Rare Gems, and God bless you.